Hi folks, I wanted to take a look at the Gifted homepage when editing with Dreamweaver. So let's just open up the page previewed in a browser to start with, and I'm just going to run through some of the differences in the Gifted template package versus our other templates. Things that are unique, and I'll show you where to go and edit and make changes. One of the first things we have here is up at the top of the page we have our Bootstrap slider, and something that's very unique to this particular layout is we have these links right here that sort of lay over top of the slider. This is called the welcome menu. In order to edit these 5 links, and you can add or subtract, however, there is a limited amount of space just based because it's a height-based menu. So if you can stick to 5, that would probably be the ideal. But if you go into the library, shared, welcome menu, library page, right here we have a simple bullet list. You can now select the text, and down below we have the link button. You can link to another page just by using the widget to drag and drop. It's just a regular hyperlink at this point, and we've styled it to have that unique look for the home page. But these buttons, now you can just change the name by typing in new name, new name. Now I suggest you hold the caps key down just to make it look cool. New page. Once you've typed that in, we just simply select it, grab our point to file tool, link to our page, we save and update. Quickly jumping back to our menu, there it is updated in the page right here. We have the Gifted menu and the little icon over here, this little leaf icon. That's something unique. It's actually part of the graphic logo library container. So if we go back to our Dreamweaver program, and in the same folder, we have the graphic logo. When you open it up, you see nothing. What we're using is a Font Awesome icon. If we flip to code view, right here, this is the name of the icon we're using. Now we have other video tutorials that walk you through Font Awesome in much more detail. So I just wanted to explain where you change the Font Awesome icon. If you don't want an icon here, simply get rid of the class, update and save. You can also go to the Insert Image and add your own image into that area as well. If you're going to add an image, I recommend it be very small, like 32 by 32 pixels or something small like that. Of course, you can have it bigger or smaller. It's just going to sort of push a crowd into that corner a little bit more, right? And this is our tagline right over here. Same area, tagline, library page. There we go. That's where you would change and update that. Now our Bootstrap slider, that is unique. I will send a specific video on this. We have other videos on this, but I'll just tell you quickly how to update this one because it's kind of unique. The Bootstrap slider is located in the library folder, but in the sliders folder. We expand that. There's our Bootstrap slider right there. We expand it open, and there's our library asset. Now how this works here is you can actually go to the design view, and you can basically see the picture, the title, the description, and this little piece of blue right here, that is the button. So image, title, description, and button. Those are the 4 components to each slide. If we go to code view, our slides are wrapped in a comment tag. So if you want to add or remove slides, you can scroll down. You see that it says slide, and it starts with a slide and ends with a slide, but I'll show you a little trick. If you want to copy and paste, if you want more than just the 4 slides that we have there, what you're going to do is just simply, where it says slide, there's a little arrow here in Dreamweaver. Click it to collapse that container, and you see how it has a nice collapsed slide, then the code, and then slide. Just copy these 3 lines now, nudge your cursor down, and then paste like so, and you've added another slide, just like that. Okay, and of course to change the image, this is the link to the image right here. You could, in design view, simply double click on the image to open up the image properties, select another image, or browse to your folder, select another image, and it changes right away in the page like that. Okay, that is one way to do it. Or you could do it right here in the page. It just changes the image directly. And that's your title, This is the description, and this is the name of the button. And you can do it in code or you can do it in design. I actually prefer to do it in code in the newer versions of Dreamweaver because it's all color coded. It's actually kind of easier to do it right here because you can all see it. Boom, boom, boom. And you can also change the link to the page if you want to link the page. So that's the essence of updating the Bootstrap slider. There are other more detailed things you can do, like change the timing. And if you go up here, you'll see the timing, the interval, is set to like 110 seconds. So you may want to remove one of the zeros to make it 11 seconds because this would be milliseconds. So that's really the other thing here. And if you're going to add another slide, I did forget to mention, you'll need to add another dot, right? Yeah, it's not even, actually we're not even using the dots in this one here, so it's not even required. So I think we've turned them off. So not to worry there, right? Now, some other cool things about this particular homepage is this piece here, a very unique section, 2 background images, and just basically it's a large call to action. You open up the index page to edit it. It's one of these things where it's styled in such a way that it's very hard for the design window to replicate what you see in a browser. The design windows aren't quite CSS compliant. In other words, they do the best job they can, but no matter what we do, it'll never be exactly perfect. So here's what I do when I go to edit these types of things right here, is I go to the view menu, and the first thing I do is design view options. I hide all the visual aids. I turn them off because they're awkward, right? This piece here, although it doesn't line up, you can still edit it now from this point. So just a title, a description, and a button. It's really a call to action, but the key to this piece are the background images, right? And there's an actual image here, and then there's something on this other side over here. So if I select this piece right here, this image on the left, right, it actually tells me the background image right here. And you can go and change it by clicking on the little browse for file, and you can go and browse for a new background image, okay? And the background images for this section are actually stored right here in the site, themed images, backgrounds, and this one right here is this image right here. And we use a lot of common images. This is actually 1920 by 1080, and we use the CSS to style it down, okay? But there's another piece right here, right? So actually, I'll just finish this off. You can select this, flip to code. Oh, sorry. Let's just see if we can flip this over to code view here and see it. There it is right there. Okay. And this is the class here for that background image we were referring to, which is right here. You see the background image, that's a style right there that you can change. 2 background images. We have the left and the right image. What we're actually going to be doing is going to the site, because I realized that when I used the background image, it updated a style sheet that I had open. So, to better demonstrate this, site, styles, and we're going to open up the theme index. And we're going to go down to about line 591. Now, the main background image that fits the entire page, I'll just show you here, this background image right here on the right, over here, that is linked right here. That is that image right there. The image on the left, this one over here on the left, that image is the secondary image, and this is where you link it right here. So basically we're just using a background image in Dreamweaver, and you can now just basically scrub over this link inside, right, starting with the dot dot all the way over to the end of the JPEG, and you can just hit the space bar, browse, go to the site, go to your themed images, go to wherever you've put the background image. I'm just going to select a different one here and select OK, and I'm going to save, right? And we'll just make sure that Dreamweaver's being very fussy. I had a space in there, so there we go. And I like to see the images like that. Great. We'll go back here and just refresh the page, and now we have a new background image in here. So that's how to do that. There's just basically two background images and a piece of text here. Now the next section is fairly straightforward. It's just a bullet list and an image on the right. We'll scroll on down. There it is, text and an image. This is a regular text and a regular image that you can change on the page. And we'll scroll on down to the very next section, or the last unique section about the home page, and that is this section right here where it animates into place. And you see it looks quite a bit different because it takes up basically the full height of the page, right, with columns. Now, one of the tricks to this particular piece here is to try and keep the description 3 to 4 lines so they all sort of match up and they're about the same height, or they start to look kind of unwieldy and out of alignment. But this particular piece here was just a full column page or section, and you just change the images, the text, and the everything like you normally would. But in terms of the actual content, try and keep this amount of content about the same for each box.